Hello and welcome to this, my first Let's Play of Football Manager 2016. As you can see, I've just taken control of Bristol Rovers, which is my former hometown club. This will hopefully be the first in a long series of Football Manager Let's Plays. I'm not going to try and limit myself to just Bristol Rovers. If better opportunities come along, I will take them. But for the time being, it seemed like a good enough place to start. I say former hometown club. I've been to see them many a time at the Memorial Stadium, which, as you can see, they're still in, despite the fact they're wanting to get a new stadium. Stadium condition poor. That sounds about right. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting experiment for me. I don't normally go in for either lower league management or for the full Football Manager sim. I'm more of a fan of the classic or touch Football Manager mode since they brought it in, because I just prefer the speed of it and something slightly less intensive. But so this is a bit of dipping my toes in unknown waters. As I say, normally play sort of upper league Football Manager game, so for usually take charge at Liverpool or something, which is the team I actually support. But yeah, this will be an interesting experiment. Hopefully I'm not totally awful at it, but operating on such a small budget, it should throw up some interesting challenges. Actual bank balance is better than I thought it would be. I was expecting it to be a lot less than that. Already made a loss. But yeah, with 25k transfer budget and only £3,000 that I can spend on wages, more than what I've already got. Yeah, should be interesting. So let's take a look at the squad. It's not awful, actually. When I've looked at lower league stuff, lower league teams, they're usually really imbalanced in one or two areas, without either they've barely got any wide players or short up front or whatever. But actually, that's not a bad basis to build off of. Let's take a look and see how good they actually are. Reports, there we are. So actually, some crap players down at the bottom, but by and large, even the crapper ones have got decent potential. So really, Chris Lyons, look at him, bloody hell. But yeah, actually, not a bad basis to build off of. I do think could definitely do with another striker, because I intend to play 4-4-2 with this, which is not typically something I go for. I'm much more of a fan of playing with a defensive midfielder or 4-2-3-1, which is what I have on my Liverpool save. But really, for your lower league stuff, it's a bit much, I think. Could do with another right winger. I've only got one. Okay, that'll be first thing on the list. Christ, look at all those right backs. And a left back. I've only got one, and he's actually quite good. Quite a few injuries, though. Goalkeeper, 2 months. 2 to 4 months. Oh, he's our better one as well. And 7 weeks to 3 months. So quite long-term injuries. Luckily, he's not particularly great. But let's take a look and see what the board want from me. So taking over, personal message. We'll do that in a minute. You don't want to see that. Bristol Rovers injuries. Yeah, so quite a few injuries there. Subscribe to all of that crap. That's fine. So the actual club itself, just been promoted from the conference, so near the bottom in terms of expectations, I imagine. What do they expect from us? Where do I find that out? Board. There we are. Wage expenditure. That's good. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the staff. No under 21s manager, but they won't let me have one anyway. Physio. I need a physio because no wonder my players are out for so long. I have no scouts. Okay. First thing on the list, get a scout. Where do I find expectations? Club. General. Anyway. Yeah, so a few things to improve on. But for this episode, my plan, as much as I can plan ahead for this sort of thing, is to take a look at the squad, which we've done, and then I will go through the friendlies that I've got lined up. So Chelsea under 21s, Dorchester, Forest Green, local friendly there. Lowestoft, Kendal. Now I will go through all those off. And I won't do them live because A, that'll take forever, and B, they're friendlies and they bore me, so I'm sure that they will probably bore you. In that time, I will attempt to sign some decent players to fill in some of the gaps in the squad, so left back and right back, namely, and possibly up front if I can get somebody decent. And then I'll do a live comm of the first league game. Possibly the Fulham match. I'll see how it goes. No, I think I'll just do the League 2 match. I'm away at Fulham. Maybe that'll get me some cash. And yeah, then after that, I'll play a few games, maybe see how it goes, maybe start another episode with the game at Barnet. Yeah, why not? And see how that goes. And hopefully, I won't cock this up too much. If memory serves, the expectation, or the media expectation, was for us to be bottom. So, my main goal with this first season is not get relegated. Which the media have given me no chance. But, in real life, Rovers are in 6th. So, there's hope there. Especially if I can get some decent players either on pay-as-you-play or just on cheap free transfers and low contracts, because I haven't got much. I'm wondering if I can get players in on free. I can adjust the wage budget. So I can. That's something. So I can give myself an extra £1,000 on wages, which if I can get a couple of players in for around £500 to £1,000 a week, would maybe ship off some players that aren't great, maybe get an affiliate or a parent club, get them in on with no expense, and do it that way. Anyway, let's do these first few games, and I will see you soon. And we're back. Pre-season is all done and dusted, and we're just about to start the first league game against Northampton. Just before we go into that, though, let's just have a quick run through of how we did in the pre-season. It took longer than I expected. Originally, I think it was supposed to be 4 games, but there was a huge gap between playing, I think it was Forest Green and Lowestoft, which, considering how unfit lower league players are, it didn't seem sensible to just leave it at those few games and let them lose the match fitness they'd gained in the first 3. So I arranged a couple more against Marine and Dulwich Hamlet. Not good teams by any stretch, but it does help bring up the match fitness of the squad. Surprisingly got a good draw against the Chelsea under-21s, which we actually went behind in first of all. But eventually got a goal back. And then, yeah, by and large, it's been fairly productive. After the Marine game, I think it was, I just let the assistant manager take over because it was taking too long, and I hate doing pre-season. Transfers and stuff is great, but the actual friendlies and stuff I find really dull. But I wanted to take over those first few games just to get an idea of where the squad was. And once I kind of got a rough idea, just let the assistant manager take over. In terms of transfers and strengthening the squad, it's been pretty good actually. Brought in one absolute star player who is by far and away our best, and that is Andy Johnson. Former England striker, bags of experience, tons of goals in his career. He's gone from, alright, not playing for Crystal Palace, but he's gone from the Premier Division all the way down to League 2. I'd love to have known what his wages were when he was at Crystal Palace, even if he wasn't playing, because we've got him for £1,000 a week. Which, alright, it makes him the top earner at the club, but, I mean, he's 3% of the entire club's wage bill. But, you know, if he can score 10, 15 goals a season for the next couple of years, I think we've got him for until 2017, I think. Yeah. So, he's 34, so he's no spring chicken, but you know, for a free transfer, £1,000 a week, even if we sell him for 35, 40k in a year or two, if he does turn out to be a flop, alright, we have him for a year, we've only spent £12,000 on him. No, that doesn't make sense. That's a week, isn't it? £52,000 on him. You know, could be worse, and his mental stats are by far and away the best at the club. His technical stats are still good, physical not so much, but then he is 34 and his body is made of tissue paper, so you know, could be worse. And then we managed to get a parent club, West Ham. I tried to get Reece Oxford, who is a young English centre-back, bags of potential, but was not interested. Got this guy in goal, though. Pretty damn good. By far and away, bags better than the current guy that we've got, Middenhall. I think that's his name. Is that his name? Yeah, that'll do. Near enough. Squad? Yeah. Middenhall? Anyway. Yeah. I mean, he's 2.5 stars, which isn't awful. It's decent for a backup. But, yeah, this guy, tons better. Lot younger. Point to prove. Should be good at this level. And we don't have to pay anything for him. Because from a parent club, we don't even have to pay his wages. We've also got this guy, Cameron Dummigan, on loan from... Is he also from West Ham? No, from Burnley. Again, not an affiliate club or anything, but we don't have to pay his wages. They just want him to get experience. And yeah, he will do very nicely at right back. Current ability 3 stars, potential 4 to 5. Yeah, should be good at this level. And finally, in terms of loans, Josh Cullen, central midfielder, from the parent club. Good current ability, even better potential. I will probably use him possibly if anything happens to Chris Lines, or as a rotation with Chris Lines, just to keep him fresh for bigger games. Because Chris Lines is still better. Although he's gone down in rating. He used to be 4.5. Anyway, but yeah, still tons better. And then as for the other signings, in terms of who we've bought, the only one that we've actually paid any cash for up front, or more than just wages, is Matt Hill, who is decent. He is 34, and we did pay $8,500 for him, which is possibly too much. When I signed him, everybody was saying, "Why have you spent this much money on a 34-year-old over-the-hill left-back?" But it's not a waste of money if it's a position that you need strengthening in. And we had nobody at left-back, at least nobody to provide cover for Lee Brown, who's still first choice. But, yeah. A good backup, and he can also play centre-back, which is better than nothing. Other players that we brought in is Ryan Burge, who is another advanced playmaker, possibly with having got Josh Cullen in, should probably have just had either one or the other. I mean, we're paying him £750 a week. He's probably not going to get in ahead of Lines or Cullen. And his position is as an advanced playmaker, and I don't really want to have two advanced playmakers in the middle of the park, because that leaves nobody to cover. So, possibly a bit rubbish. Might sell him. Might, depending on how the season goes. If Cullen isn't getting enough games, or he turns out to be a bit shit, then either or. But, yeah. I mean, his contract expires in a couple of years, so if Cullen, at least we'll have him for 16, 17, if I'm still here. Might get sacked, I don't know. But anyway, the other guy that we got in was this guy, Mark Priest. Yeah, he's a bit shit. Now, I signed this guy before I got any scouts, and he was at Chippenham, and I wanted to get him on trial, but they wouldn't let us take him on trial, even though he was not under contract, or was available for a free. Weird. Anyway, so I signed him on a free, looking at his actual stats, thinking, yeah, 12 tackling, 12 marking, heading's decent, he's strong, positioning's alright. Stats-wise, for a limited centre-back, you know, looked decent. Get him at the club, 1 star. So, either that is a load of bollocks, or I'm an idiot. Probably the second one, but we'll see. I mean, he's not going to start. He's definitely back up. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll probably even put Matt Hill in instead of him at centre-back if push came to shove. But, still, in throwaway games that I'm not particularly fussed about, or although are there games at this level that you're not fussed about? I don't know. Anyway, if turns out he's only on £350 a week, and his contract expires at the end of the season, so if he is rubbish, to terminate his contract isn't going to cost us much. If he turns out alright, even better. But anyway, that's enough for the transfers. As I said, we now do have scouts, which is good. Not got a chief scout, which is weird. I'm swear when I went to sign one of these guys, it was as a chief scout, but I must have misread. But yeah, they're not bad. He's really good. George Rooney. I thought he was the guy that I got as a chief scout, but yeah, our scouting is now third best in League 2, and in terms of for potential, and second best for current ability. So, should be alright. I'm quite optimistic with that. As for staffing, for our day-to-day coaching, yeah, we're doing alright. In four of the categories, we've got the best in the league, and then everything else is above average. So 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and 7th for coaches. I've been quite lucky. I've been able to mostly get players in to specialise. I'm there doing the attacking training. For some reason, couldn't sign a fitness coach, a dedicated fitness coach, which was weird. I don't quite know why that was. I did find a guy, and then it said you've got to sack somebody in order for us to sign him. They wanted me to get rid of my goalkeeping coach, which isn't going to happen because we've got a young keeper who's got loads of potential and needs coaching, or an old dude who needs to be kept up to shape. So yeah, we're not getting rid of our goalkeeping coach. So we did find a just bog standard coach, Tony Mee, who I managed to bring in. His fitness coaching is at 15, which for a generic coach is not bad. Hopefully next season, if I'm still here, I'll be able to bring somebody in, but we'll see. Anyway, enough of that. On to the match. As you see, we're at home for the first game of the season against Northampton. They are predicted, I think it was 11th, to finish 11th. We're predicted to finish dead last. So, if I can get a draw, first game of the season, I'd be happy. Pre-season was good. Andy Johnson got 2 goals in pre-season. Matty Taylor got 3. But this is the team that I'm going with to start off with. 2 of our loan signings straight in the team. Spiegel, I don't think's had a chance to play for the first team yet. He came in this week, just before the season started. I'd still, preferably before the end of the transfer window closes, like to get a decent right wing player in, because Broom did alright in pre-season. Actually, no, he didn't. He did shit. 6.69. Okay, take that back. I'd really need to get a right winger, because this guy is not good. Was it Bodin that did well in pre-season? Somebody did. Yeah, Bodin did okay, 6.82. But he is not suited to playing wide right in a straight 4. I mean, if I pushed him up and did it asymmetrical, it's an option, but not a fan of that. Gosling did well, though. He came in well, mostly as substitute appearances, but he's good as he'll probably be first off the bench, especially if Montagno is not doing well, because he's not suited to playing there either. But anyway, enough of my tactics. 4-4-2. If you want to pause it, you can read it there. Submit the team. Oh yeah, I haven't done my numbers. Oh wait, no, yes I did. Spiegel can be 25. Dummigan can be number 30. That'll do, pig. Right. Continue. Right. Now, apply advice. Oh, that's terrible advice. Actually, no, it's not. Corey, I don't want to close him down. He's a defensive midfielder, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, going hard. Hard there. Yeah, that looks alright. Showing the wide players onto their weaker foot, which is good at lower levels because they're not very good and they tend to be not very strong. So you should be able to do that. I thought that said Mika Richards then. I think we should encourage the team. Assertively. Screw it. Ask the. Yeah. Oh, look. There we go. Look to gain confidence. That'll do. Right. Oh, let's slow that down a little, shall we? Settings. How's that? Better. Does it do replays? Yeah, it does. Right. I don't know who I'm going to get as a right wing player. I did try searching, even for them in the transfer market, but couldn't see anybody that caught my fancy. I like to play with pace. That's rubbish. 6th minute and we're 1-0 down. It's going to be a long season if we carry on like this. You don't have to. You really don't have to load these. Right, there we go. Let's just see how dreadful this was. Right. Oh, he was offside, wasn't he? Who was playing him on? It was Brown, wasn't it? Oh, fuck's sakes. Right. Let's try this again. Oh, that was... Right. Our defence is really bad. I knew this was a weakness when during the pre-season, because we were conceding goals to like crappy teams, like not even like Division South, North, whatever. They're not even in the game. Bad. And now that we've actually come up against a team that's halfway decent, we're just giving the ball away. Like, we're not even trying. It's just bad. I do hope this isn't going to be representative of the entire season. Because if it is, we're in trouble. Tom Parks our central defence is having a shocker, which does not surprise me. That should have been a goal. It's worrying because in pre-season, the one thing I've not been too worried about is scoring goals and creating chances. We've had one shot all game. Just coming up to half time, we've had one shot on target and have not looked anything like being able to get into this game. The worrying thing is that our next game is against Fulham. So if we were hoping to bounce back from this with a win, it ain't going to happen. Alright, they're not particularly good in the Championship, but we're not particularly good in League 2. So, oh dearie me. Right, Broom is A, knackered, and B, having a shocker. We're 1-0 down. Defence is rubbish, but we need to score. Bowden is better than Broom. Right, let's get the team talk out of the way. Aggressive, I expect to see much better. Right. Bowden can come on for Broom. And we'll see how that goes. We need to start. We're going to control. That gives a couple of gears to move up in terms of attacking intent. We're doing better. Oh, okay, we're not doing better on possession. We went from 51 to 48. I shouldn't be too down on it. I mean, this is a team that is predicted to finish, just outside the playoffs. We are predicted to be last. Time to do a sub. So, if we losing this, although not a good start, is not the end of the world. It's going to be against the weaker teams that our season will be decided. If we can beat lower half, bottom half of the table teams, or at least get a point against those, we should be safe. I mean, I know that they say 40 points is enough for survival in the Premiership. I don't know what it is in the in the actual Football League. Obviously, they've got more teams, so I'm guessing you're looking at 40 to 50 points to stay up. I should probably look that up and try and set a target. Yeah, I really need to work on... Oh, yes! Own goal. I'll take it. It's better than nothing. Parks did really well there. But my God, that was lucky. Jesus. If we get a draw, we will have absolutely mugged them. I mean, yeah, great. Right, Lines is knackered, but is playing really well. Matty Taylor has been disappointing. He's absolutely banging them in for Rovers in real life. Right. Oh, do I bring on an attacking player? Why do I have Harrison and not... Anyway. Do I bring on a attacker? Or do I try and reinforce the defence? How's Hill at centre-back? Oh, for Christ's sake. My mouse keeps doing this. I think it's on its last legs. It keeps dropping before I want them to. Right, Lockyer is playing dreadful. Ooh, 1 star. Right. No, undo. Right, bring on Burge for Chris Lines. This might be a mistake, but fortune favours the bold. God, imagine if we got a winner. Look at that. 16-2. I mean, they've only had 2 shots on target, which is terrible. They've missed 15 chances. Come on. Come on. Don't you score now. If you score now, I'm... Oh, there we go. Whew. Was it disappointing? I think that's unfair. They're predicted to finish much higher from us. Our performance was bad. Assertive. I am proud that they came back, but I'm also not happy with their performance. I wish you could do... What I'd want is, we were lucky, but we need to be better. I need both. It's too limited. See what the assistant manager says. Oh, well, okay. Listen to Nick Haycock, whoever he is. I mean, he's my assistant manager, but anyway. Right. I'm praising myself for that. Tactical genius. That's what that was. Yeah, anyway. Right. Up to 14th, or down to 14th, considering the alphabet. Next game against Fulham. I'm not expecting much, but yeah. I won't do a live com for that because I don't want to embarrass myself too much on this. I think we'd said the next game against Barnet, which would give me, do the maths, another 2 weeks in the transfer window to try and sign a defender that is not utter dog shit. And maybe sign a right winger as well who can actually provide something, because Broom was awful. I mean, genuinely bad. And Bodin does not fit in on that side in terms of his adaptability. So we shall see. I'm not expecting much, but fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you for watching this first episode. Hopefully, when episode 2 comes up, we will be in a better position and with a few wins under the belt. But I'm not holding out much hope based on that display. Thank you very much. See you again in episode 2. Bye.